Hi, this is Lisbeth, and welcome back to the Caring Human Code podcast. Today's episode is about how to help your dog stay calm, safe, and regulated during holiday gatherings. We are approaching Christmas, and lots of things are going on in our homes these days during December, and maybe a little bit of January as well. It's about why commands like leave it, stop, come here almost never works during these moments. So we are here to understand dogs, not to control them. And I want to talk about something that many dog humans struggle with, even though almost no one of us, we don't prepare for it. It's the guests, the noise, the excitement, the chaos, and the dog who suddenly seem to bark more, react faster, or become overwhelmed in ways that feels unpredictable. So in this episode, it's for you who are heading into Christmas or any other family gatherings. In this episode, I want to help you and your dog breathe a little bit easier. So, December is one of the most stressful months, not only for humans, but also for dogs. Routine breaks, homes filled with people, and lots of food, lots of energy, different mood. Maybe you're a little bit stressed, even. A lot of changes. Even positive stress is stress. And the dog's emotional world becomes very different from what they used to. If we want harmony, not chaos, we need to understand what the dog is actually experiencing. So let me start with a little story. This was a few years ago. I worked with a lovely family who had a wonderful dog. It was a gentle, friendly, and calm dog. An adult dog, I think between 5, 6 years old. But every Christmas, the same thing happened. Guests would come through the door, voices became loud with excitement, children were running around in the house. You probably know what I'm talking about. And the dog would immediately start barking, pacing, and jumping. And the family felt very embarrassed about this behavior. So they would start trying to control the dog by telling him to stop, to leave it, come here, go lay down. Whatever they said, nothing really worked. If anything, it actually got worse. So I went on a home visit. So when I arrived, I noticed something immediately. The dog wasn't being naughty. He wasn't misbehaving as such. He was overwhelmed. His body language was crystal clear. He turned his head away from the children. He licked his nose. He blinked slowly. He paced. He walked slower and he froze. And just after that moment, he would start to bark. He gave so many signals long before the chaos started, but no one noticed them because they didn't know about them. They didn't know the calming signals. So the big shift for this family came when they realized that he wasn't ignoring them. He simply just couldn't hear them through all the noise inside of his body because he got overwhelmed and stressed. Not necessarily in a negative way. He was looking forward to getting the visitors as well and all the excitement, but he was still stressed. I asked them to create a quiet retreat room with a see-through baby gate that he could choose to walk into if he wanted. This is actually the kind of gate I'm talking about. These ones. We use them out in the garden and they are very cheap to buy. And instead of closing the door immediately, totally, it's so much better to have a see-through gate so that the dog can stay inside of this room, but still be part of what's going on. And the important thing to remember here is that the dog is going to choose for himself if he wants to go in there or not. And if he goes into that room, no one else is allowed into that room. Then you simply put the baby gate in front of the door so he can be safe and quiet inside that room. So he also was asked to get to choose whether he wanted to actually greet the guests or not, and to slow things a bit down, to tell exactly how the guests were going to behave. Now, the humans instructed the other humans on how to behave. So they slowed things down. They told the guest how to behave in detail, and they stopped using commands as a reaction. And they focused on helping him feel safe instead of trying to control his behavior. And you know what happened? The barking reduced dramatically. It did not completely stop. I am not giving you like a magic thing happening here. It didn't stop completely, no, but it reduced dramatically, a lot. So it wasn't a problem anymore, the barking. Also, the pacing stopped. He relaxed, not because he learned a new command, but because the emotional stress was removed. So, what exactly happens with our dogs in these situations? Number one, holidays overwhelm not only us, but also our dogs. We love December because it brings people together, but for dogs, it brings unpredictability. It's more people, more noise, more movement, different routines, different smells, different energy in the home. And dogs, they kind of enjoy predictability. So they feel safe when they know what's coming. And during the holidays, everything changes. And when the emotional safety drops, behavior changes too. Same thing with humans. And it always begins with subtle signals, such as turning away, blinking, licking, slowing down. Even play bows and stretching are calming signals. Sitting down, laying down, there are also calming signals. There are many calming signals, and we'll talk more about them during our podcasts. Not all of them at once, though. It's just overwhelming for all of us. But those signals are, when they are ignored, barking or reactivity will most certainly follow. Not because the dog is misbehaving, but because their nervous system is overloaded. So why leave it, stop, and come here? And commands like that doesn't work. I want you to imagine something. Imagine that you're in a very noisy room. People are talking loudly around you, someone calling your name, music playing. You're just a little bit overwhelmed. There's a lot of things happening. And suddenly someone yells, "Calm down." Does that help? Probably not. It may even make your stress worse. This is exactly the same for dogs. Commands fail during overwhelm for four big reasons. First, stress blocks thinking. Same reaction as in humans. When the adrenaline rises, the dog's brain can't access the learned behaviors. Secondly, they are not ignoring you. They literally can't process your words. They don't know, they don't hear, or they don't understand what you're trying to tell them. Thirdly, commands add pressure. They create more tension, not safety. And fourth, commands address obedience, not emotions. And during holiday chaos, the dog's emotions, not their training level, determine their behavior. So this is why shouting or repeating commands doesn't bring calm. It brings more confusion, not only to the dog, but also for you, because you get more frustrated when your dog isn't seeming to listen to you. So what should you do instead? How to create safety and prevent chaos for this upcoming holiday season. Let's have a look at what actually works. Number one, prepare before guests arrive. Take a slow sniff walk. Let your dog explore and use his brain when you're out walking with your dog. Have a nice, calm walk. If possible, of course, off leash is always the best, but if not, at least on a long, loose leash. And then give the dog time to decompress. So that means that you also have to lower your stress a little bit. So this is kind of a good thing to do both for your dog and for yourself. That means that you have to schedule a little bit more time this Christmas before the guests arrive. So you make sure that you are not stressed. Also, keep the routine as predictable as possible for the dog, maybe also for yourself, and avoid any overstimulation before the event, before people are coming to your home. And then, secondly, create a safe retreat space for your dog. A quiet room or a corner where your dog can choose to go to. Now, this is very important. Your dog needs to be able to choose if he wants to go there or not. So I would prepare this place in advance and make sure it's a place that your dog now starts understanding that it's his quiet space. So when he is there, no one will come and bother him. So this can be a room with the baby gate like this, so the dog can actually see what's happening, or a special corner or area in your house. You need to instruct your guests not to go and pet your dog or talk to the dog or just not interact with the dog when he is in his own space, safe space. So in that space, provide different kind of chews and maybe other mental stimulation things that you have. You might want to set up an enriched environment as well. It's always working very well. Your dog's bed and maybe a blanket, and no guests allowed unless the dog chooses to let them in. But your guest doesn't know how your dog is choosing. They don't know your dog's body language. So you have to be your dog's safe person and instruct the guests what to do and not to do. So, number three, slow introductions. When the guests arrive, no bending over the dog, no reaching out their hands, no loud greetings. Let the dog observe. Let the dog choose if they want to make contact with the guests. Choice reduces stress. If you feel you need to and that helps you, then you can absolutely have a leash on your dog. You would have to use, we would recommend absolutely a harness, not a collar, and to have a leash on your dog. That's absolutely possible as well. And number four, use your body language instead of commands. Move slower. Turn your body sideways to the dog. Breathe softly. Make space instead of adding pressure to your dog. Dogs, they respond to our bodies and our stress level. They can smell our stress hormones and they can see on our face how we feel long before they hear or pay attention to our words. Next thing you should do is to reinforce calm choices. So if the dog looks away instead of barking, then you can reward, not with treats, but you can acknowledge him. The reward might just be petting your dog or acknowledging that he is looking away instead of barking. If you then start going with a high-pitched voice like, oh, good boy, then guess what? His stress level goes up again and he will start barking. So it's important that when you are rewarding these kind of behavior, that you do it in a very subtle way. Just, touching your dog or just looking at your dog. Eye contact, brief eye contact, not staring, but just looking at your dog is a huge reward for a lot of dogs. It's a great acknowledgement for them that they need and they want from us. If the dog chooses to walk away, then support them, let them. If the dog settles, again, acknowledge it. That's good behavior. Don't start giving rewards or making a big fuss out of it. Just acknowledge that it's a nice thing that he did do that. We reinforce safety, not obedience. Also, give the dog permission to rest away from our guests. So some dogs, they don't want to be in the living room with a lot of people. They don't want hugs or chaos or excitement. They want peace, and peace is allowed. That simple permission can transform your whole evening. So here is something I would love for you to try this week. At some point, when your home becomes a little busy or noisy, pause for 30 seconds and just watch your dog. Without speaking to your dog, just observe him. Notice what your dog is communicating. The blinking, the head turning, the sniffing, the moving away. Let your dog show you what they need before you respond. Another simple practice is to set up a small, safe space today, now, a soft blanket and a peaceful spot. Let your dog know that this is their own safe space, a place that they can always feel safe, even when life is a little bit busy, but not a closed crate. We do not use any closed crates. If you do, if your dog has a crate, it's fine. That could be a space, but remove the door completely. Okay? The crate should never, ever be closed. Your dog isn't trying to make the holidays difficult. They are simply asking for safety in a world that suddenly feels too loud for them. So, thank you for being with me today. If this episode helped you, please subscribe or share it with other caring humans who want a calmer, more connected holiday season with their dog. I see you in the next episode. Bye.